Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer, and today we're taking a look at Chaos. Chaos is a 32-bit ransomware, making it the second ransomware sample we viewed on the channel so far. If we take a look at this in virus total, we can see that it has 57 out of 73 detections. And if we look over here, it was first submitted 3 days ago. Creation time says September 19th, but I never look at creation time. It can easily be fake. So for 3 days, 57 out of 73 detections is pretty good. If we go to detections, it would actually take longer to see who does detect it rather than who does not. So we'll just take a look at the undetected. So if we take a look through here, I'm not seeing any big names except for WebRoot. And WebRoot does not detect anything on VirusTotal for whatever reason. So do with that as you will. Your popular threat label for this one is ransomware.MSIL/chaos. Threat categories are ransomware, Trojan, and virus for whatever reason. I guess because it infects files, but okay. And family labels MSAL, Chaos, and Encoder. If we go to details, here's your MD5, your SHA-1, and your SHA-256. You don't have to type this down if you want to follow along because it will be in the comments down below. And here are your creation time, which is almost always fake, first submission, last submission, by moi, and last analysis. If we take a look here, we've got getwrecked.exe, and that's actually the file I have. So, like, what is this, 2014? We also have a random string here, most likely off of a malware repository. Then we have a date, random string, destroyer WannaCry. Okay, interesting enough. We go to relations. We do have 2 contacted URLs and 4 contacted domains. However, these are all certificate authorities and just Microsoft.com. And if we go to contacted IP addresses, we do have 7 IPv4s and 1 IPv6. However, only one of these have any detections, and it's just a Microsoft IP. 4 bundled files as well have either have no detections or have been confirmed to be okay. We do have 150 dropped files though, and if we take a look through here, I'm not going to look at all of them. However, most of them have no detections whatsoever, or they have not been analyzed. And it looks like that's the case for every single one of these, actually. If I go to behavior, again, I don't spend much time on behavior on this channel, but if you want to look for yourself, now's your chance. We do have 3 sandbox detections, Cape Sandbox, Yomi Hunter, and VM Ray. If we scroll down, we have 2 high and 3 medium crowdsourced Sigma rules, and no crowdsourced IDS rules. And if we go to community, we have quite a few people that have been here so far. Voting details from PC Risk, Nike Analytics, Cur88, and Jaffa Cakes. And here are the people that have come and left comments on this. I'm not going to go through and read every single one because there's just too many. But there you go. So I do believe in this case that it's not actually sending off your data to like a backend server or a C2 server. I do believe that it's just encrypting the data that you have on your computer, and they expect you to pay for a tool to have it decrypted. Because, well, I'll show you why I think that a little later on. But since there's only 4 contacted domains and it's these, and I don't see any suspicious IP addresses here, then that's one reason to believe that, but there are others. Now, if we take a look here, this is our malware sample, but if you look over here, we have 3 folders now, and this one is very important, Stoof. So if you look in here, we do have some executables, but we've also got a JPEG, PNG, a WebP, HTA, a docx, MP3, MP4, and because I just wanted to see what it would do, an MP5, .text, a.gs, a .vbs, and that is it. So we'll see how many of these it encrypts, but obviously it's not just going to encrypt the things in this folder, it's going to encrypt everything on the computer. So we'll go ahead and close that, and the last thing to do is take a look at the file properties. Well, then I'll show the programs we're using to take a look at this, because I forgot. We'll go to properties and look at details. Like, maybe it tried kind of. It's got a file and product version, but it's just 0. And then it has language neutral. And obviously no digital signatures. So, do we give them points for that? I'd say I'd take away points for that, honestly. Because that makes it look even more suspicious now. If we go to our tools, we're using Process Hacker. I'll go ahead and get this one ready. Let's minimize everything we don't need. Wireshark, which I'll go ahead and get ready for analysis. Then I'll have to come back here and minimize that. Zooey and Process Monitor, which I'll go ahead and clear because it has almost 18 million events. And the last thing to do is to get Process Hacker ready, and without any further ado, run the malware. Do you want to allow this ransomware from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Why not? We click yes, and immediately we see getrect.exe running under Explorer, and in the not too distant future, we'll see service host. This could be the legitimate service host, but I kind of doubt it. It says console applications a non-existent process, and it's sitting here and using quite a bit of the CPU, and is under Explorer instead of the services up here, and immediately we get a notepad file. Don't worry, you can return all your files. To who? All your files like documents, photos, databases, and other important are encrypted. No, not my other important encrypted. Sorry, that was my mistake. What guarantees do we give to you? You can send 3 of your encrypted files and we decrypt it for free. You must follow these steps to decrypt your files. 1, write on our email. Oh, okay. You're not... Write on our email, no space, test@test.com. In case of no answer in 24 hours, check your spam folder or write us to this email, test2@test.com. Or 2, obtain Bitcoin. You have to pay for decryption in Bitcoins. After payment, we will send you the tool that will decrypt all your files. Yeah, you're not getting any of your files back. Well, now, Larry, what makes you think that? They gave us our email address. They gave us 2 email addresses. Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, I got a feeling that for some reason this was released and the malware writers forgot to put that in there. So, on the one hand, you're not getting your files back. You know, boo womp, time to reinstall Windows. On the other hand, they're not getting any money. So, it's pretty interesting, I would say. Unfortunate, but interesting that they just kind of glossed over this. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and close the notepad. And if we want to take a look in Process Monitor, we're going to do 2 filters. The first filter we're going to do is process name is getrect.exe. And then we're also going to do operation is create file. Apply. And we do see 399 events. So go ahead and cancel that and make this full screen. And let's expand this over here. So we do have the prefetch, and it was deleted, unfortunately. So we won't get any information from that. Looks like we got Microsoft.NET Framework 64 and System 32. Okay, so we've got the usual suspect DLLs, but not anything too suspicious on its own, other than the fact it's accessing .NET. Looks like it is accessing the desktop again, running its own program. We've got some MSIL stoof in here. We can just ignore all that. That's not going to tell us much. It does access roaming. There is a possibility that this does have persistence. It is ransomware after all. And it looks like it is copying the desktop.ini to every folder that it can, apparently. Or at least every standard folder. So, do that as you will. And it looks like there is a fake service host.exe in roaming. So if we go over here and jump to, is it still there? Because it did say not a directory on one of those. It is still here. So if we go to show more options and properties and go to details, yeah, it's just the same file. So it is a fake service host. Interessante. Go to digital signatures, obviously nothing's here because it's the exact same file we just ran. If we go to readit.txt, is this the same thing? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, next up, we'll go ahead and save this packet capture on Wireshark, but there's 553 packets. So this is another reason I believe that it didn't actually send any of your data off, because usually in the events of info stealers or remote access trojans, you've got like 10,000 or more packets. In this case, you've only got 553, and you got to keep in mind all of the other normal network connections that will have been being made, whether you're using the internet on your own or not. Because your computer has all these background processes, and if you have a web page open in the background, you've got more connections there as well. So I don't believe it's sending off your data in this case, which is good because you'd never get it back. But in the case you get something like this, it's time to reinstall Windows. And I hate it. I really do. But you also really have no choice. So if we wait a little itty bitty bit of time, shouldn't take too long because there's only 553 packets. But if we sit here and wait, that'll eventually be done. Let's take a look at the damage that was done to the machine. So let's go to our very important stoof. And as you can see, everything almost has been encrypted with a random 4-string thing at the end. This seems to be very poorly made ransomware, so I'm gonna... It didn't infect our Process Explorer or Process Monitor, but it did infect Process Hacker. So it infected .links, but not .exes. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, so just to make sure it's not just renaming your extensions, we'll go ahead and rename that. Yes, I do want to redo that. And it does look like, unfortunately, it's not going to work. Yeah, this shortcut doesn't actually go to anything. But if I try to run it here... Oh, well, it's still running in the background, so that's not going to tell us much. Let's go ahead and take a look at Zooey and just confirm that nothing too suspicious and obvious is happening in the background. Only 130 rows, and nothing at all to look at, not even any notices. So yeah, it didn't send off your data in this case. Alright, well, the ransomware is still running in the background, which also makes me believe this has persistence. But I'm not seeing anything else too suspicious. So if we rename this .vbs and click yes, invalid character. Right, so is there actually anything on it? Because before there was nothing here and it was 0 bytes, but now it has 1 kilobyte. So let me open this with, choose another app, Notepad. It does look like it overwrote some information here. So do with that as you will. But nothing else seems to have been lost other than our MP3s. We still got our EXEs, we got our web page images, we've got all of that good stuff. But just to confirm, this is 0 kilobytes, so the .png should be 0 kilobytes as well. And if I change this, it is still 1 kilobyte. So there you go. Will it actually show an image in this case? No, it doesn't look like we support this file format. Okay, so that is the encryption payload. What else did it encrypt? You do have 2 desktop INIs on here. Let's go ahead and see if we can edit these with the notepad. And it's shell class info, localized resource name, system root, system32, shell32.dll, icon resource. I'm not sure why it would put this in every folder, but then again, I guess why not? But that should be about it. Now, if we close all of these programs, because we have taken a look at everything. Stop and quit without saving. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and close Process Monitor. And close all of these as well. I said everything, darn it. Are we still able to open Firefox? We still have Firefox. Are we able to open Edge? We lost Edge! Wait a minute. No! It just got rid of the icon for Edge. No! I was about to say, best ransomware ever. We kept us with Firefox but deleted Edge. But that is unfortunately not the case. So the last thing to do at this point is to just go ahead and restart the virtual machine and see if it does run on startup. Now, I do know that it encrypted process hacker's link, so I'll try to run it from the startup menu instead. And if that doesn't work, I do believe that process explorer was still there. So if all else fails, we can use process explorer to check for persistence. But if we get the text file opening up saying that we can still recover our files, then, well, I didn't mean to open that, then we'd pretty much know, right? So let's go ahead and open Process Hacker, and it immediately, what the heck? Okay, yeah, it did immediately open read.it.txt. So, I mean, even if we don't see anything here, yep, and there's our service host.exe. Or our fake service host.exe, after all. So that is going to be it for this ransomware. This has been Chaos. You have been screwed if you get this, because there's no way to even get your files back. Because I'm fairly certain they don't own the email address test@test.com. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know what you thought. And if there's anything I did not do in this video that you want to see in future ones, let me know in the comments as well. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been great, and I will see you in the next one.